So starting off with the dollar index, you're welcome once again to the market color for today, the 5th of the 5th of May rather, sorry, 5th of May 2025. Okay, so you're all welcome. Welcome to the market color for today. All right. So we're going to be starting this market color looking at the dollar index, and then we're going to look at Euro USD. We're going to look at GBP USD as well. All right, so these are the things we're going to focus on this first part of the market color. So starting off with the dollar index. So let me take this quickly. All right, so starting off with the dollar index, we're looking at it from the weekly time frame, where we're expecting it to give us some deeper form of retracement than it has given so far. We are looking forward to seeing the dollar index trade and fill up this fair value gap somewhere around 100.864, is where we're expecting the dollar index to trade to. So I really want to see how the dollar index is going to trade and tap that level before it continues selling down. So that is where I'm anticipating a turn from or a reversal from on the dollar index. In previous days, we've seen some moves to the upside, but that's not been strong enough to drive price all the way to this particular level that we have analyzed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the market is going to do when it gets to that place. So for this week, I'm expecting that by the end of this retracement, we should see another move back to the upside. And why I call that a retracement is if you look at this last swing of the 4-hour time frame to the upside, price has successfully retraced all the way here. Now I'm expecting a move back to the upside. So for the dollar index, I'm very bullish on it, and I'm expecting to trade all the way to this level, and then I'll sell it down. So for this week, especially the first half of this week, talking about Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm expecting the dollar index to buy. All right, I'm bullish on the dollar index. I'm expecting it to buy all the way to the upside. Okay. Now let's look at Euro USD and GBP USD so that we can see what we will be able to take advantage of from the charts that we've analyzed on the dollar index. Okay, so for Euro USD, let's go back to the weekly time frame as well. On the weekly time frame, we're expecting that retracement on Euro USD all the way to 1.1140 or 1.1150 at least. Okay, so I'm expecting that retracement of Euro USD all the way into this place. It has been selling into this place, but it has been doing that slowly since on Thursday last week. So I'm expecting that retracement to continue. If you see on the daily time frame, it hasn't broken structure yet, but on the 4-hour time frame, you'll see it has changed structure. So we're expecting continuous sales of Euro USD all the way to the downside. Now here is the 4-hour time frame. We saw that it broke structure sometime last week or the week before last, and then we're expecting that continuous sell to the downside. So overall, I'm selling Euro USD. I'm bearish. Expect it to keep selling to the downside on and on. Okay. So that is that on Euro USD. Then on the 1-hour time frame for the same Euro USD, you can see how it has been selling to the downside, and finally it retraced into this fair value gap. Now we're expecting more and more sales. So let's look out for trades that we can possibly pick for today on Euro USD as we intend to sell it to the downside. All right. So first place that I would want to sell Euro USD from, since that price has broken here, I want to see a quick return to this place, and then I'll sell it to the downside. So if I see a return back here, it is the first place I'll be interested in seeing a sell-off. If it returns to this place, I'll be selling it to the downside. So I want to see a retracement here, and then I'll sell it to the downside. If it doesn't retrace from here, then at this particular place where price is, I'll wait for an entry signature, because it has done something that I would also want to see it do, which is coming to this breaker block and then selling off from it. You can see that price returned to this breaker block, and now it's selling off from it. So if I see price trade into this level here, I'll sell. If it doesn't, this place also is a good place to sell from. So I'm waiting for entry signals from here. So these are the two places I'm expecting a Euro USD sell from. So let me show you. So from somewhere around here, if I see a good entry, I'll take my sell from here, and then I'll be intending to ride it all the way down here, all the way to this place. Take out this guys, at least for starters. Okay, so the target's not so much. We're looking at about 50 pips down on Euro US plus today being Monday. We might not see enough volatility in the market as much, looking at how this week has started. So I'm expecting that move on Euro USD. Once it plays out, I'll be taking myself to the downside. If that one doesn't play out, then I'll be taking this other one here. My stop loss is going to be about 10 pips right here, and then take profit at the same place. So these are the two trades I'm expecting. For Euro USD, a quick sell from here, where price is right now, selling it all the way to the downside. If it doesn't play out there, then the second one will be from here all the way to the downside. So these are the two things I'm expecting on Euro USD, and I expect them to play out, one of the two of them to play out today. Okay, so let me just quickly draw this path to show you what we mean. Okay, so these are the two things that we're expecting on Euro USD today. All right, so let's go over to GBP USD. Okay, so on GBP USD, let's look at it on the weekly time frame. You can see that on the weekly time frame, GBP USD also looks to be rejecting off this particular place. We can see all these rejections from this place. I'm expecting a deeper sell on GBP USD compared to Euro USD. So I expect price to sell way deeper than Euro USD. And then if you look at the daily time frame, you can see that price is moving back to the downside. I'm expecting GBP USD to trade all the way to 50% level, which is around 1.130. I'm expecting that to play out, and then we'll be taking a buy from there. But for now, my bias on GBP USD is a sell. Now, if you look at the 4-hour time frame as well, you will also see that price has been making its way to the downside. So the sell is aligning with our analysis. Also on GBP, you can see how price returned to this double fair value gaps right here, and then it's looking like it's trading off it to the downside. That is what we're expecting. So any moment from today, we'll be looking forward to seeing a GBP USD sell. Now for today, where are we looking to sell off GBP USD from? I'm targeting this place right here. This is where I want to sell GBP USD from. Okay, this level right here will give about 10 pips stop loss, nothing less than that. And then we're targeting all these places to the downside. So for GBP USD, I'm looking at this low. Okay, so this is what I'm targeting on GBP USD. Okay, so I want to see price returning to this place. Fair value gap, left shoulder. Remember our box strategy. Okay, so this is our left shoulder on the box strategy. This is our sweep, and then this is our break of structure. After the break of structure, we're expecting a return to the left shoulder. Okay, and then sell off. So this is what we are anticipating to play out on GBP USD. All right, so once this box pattern plays out, I'll be taking myself. So for GBP USD, the entry is 1.32990. Please write it down so that you will not forget. 1.32990. So write down that point. That's where we're selling GBP USD from. So once price enters that level, we are selling GBP USD. Okay, our stop loss is at around 1.33099. So please write that down as well. 1.33099. And then take profit is 1:3. That's going to be our first take profit. And then we're looking at somewhere around this level. It should give us 1:3. I think, yes, this level here. Okay, that should be 1:4. 1.32500. And then the final take profit is right here. Around this low, 1.32350. Okay, so these are the two levels we're expecting with GBP USD ourselves to terminate. So We've seen the signal. That is where we're entering our trades from. Immediately price gets there, we go short on GBP USD and sell it all the way to the downside. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and I hope everyone will be able to take advantage of these trades. All right, so GBP USD, we're looking for a sell. Euro USD as well, we're looking for a sell from either of these two places and selling it all the way to the downside, because our bias on the dollar index as well is for a buy. We're expecting it to retrace into the fair value gap of the daily time frame and weekly, so that we sell the dollar. So while the dollar is buying, we're expecting foreign currencies like GBP USD and Euro USD to sell off. Okay, so quickly let's just brush up on fundamental news release we're expecting for this week. So today we're having bank holiday in Japan, so we're going to be hearing more about that from Blake during the DN pairs analysis. Okay, and then for UK, which is affecting GBP USD and GBP JPY and the likes, especially, they're having the May Day, and then banks are going to be closed, so we might not see a lot of liquidity during the London session this morning, because the major players in the London session are not available at this moment. Okay, so next thing we're going to be expecting this week is the FOMC news release, which is more like the interest rate for the US. We're going to be expecting that to come out. It has been flat for a couple of months now at around 4.5%. That's not increased by any basis point at all. So we expect it to keep being flat moving forward, because that is not the major focus of the US economy at the moment. So they're comfortable with that, so that might keep moving as it is. Then for GBP, last month we saw a 25 basis point cut in the interest rate from 4.5% to about 4.25%. We are looking to see if that is going to continue, because we are having total votes towards rate cut. So we might see further rate cut, maybe another 25 basis points this week or for this month on the GBP. So if that happens, then we might see a decline in interest for the GBP at this period. Then, of course, we're going to be seeing same thing coming out for, I think, Canada. Okay, no, for Canada, it's an unemployment change, so nothing really serious. So for this week, the major focus is the FOMC interest rate for the US, and then the interest rate for Great Britain. So when those two comes out on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, we're going to be analyzing that and telling you what it implies, or what is the implication of this interest rate news release on the economy generally and on the charts. Okay, so these are the things we're going to be looking out for this week. You can mark the dates and see how they play out in the market, so that you can also use that as a basis for your analysis in the future. Okay, so back to the charts. As we said earlier, for those who came late, we're expecting to sell off Euro USD, and then we're also expecting to sell GBP USD, while we are looking at further strength on the dollar as a form of retracement before continues the original trend. Okay, so right now we're going to go on a very short break, and when we return from the break, we're going to be analyzing gold against the dollar. We're also going to be analyzing yen basket, GBP JPY, and Euro JPY. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned. In the next 40 seconds, we'll resume and continue our analysis.
this morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Market Colour brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. That was a very great analysis from CJ. So this morning we'll be going into the analysis of the precious metal, starting with, and from there we are going to be heading straight to Japan to see what is happening on the yen basket and the other yen correlated pair. So right about now we'll be starting with the precious metal. If you are on our mailing list, you have gotten the direction at which we want to see the precious metal go this morning, particularly for this week. All right. So on the weekly time frame, we are going to observe that the precious metal is very much bullish all the way to the upside. And looking at the candlestick pattern that we have at the close of Friday last week, it was an indication to what we should expect to happen this week. So moving ahead this week, we're expecting some level of pullback more on the precious metal. And also from the analysis we had on the dollar this morning is giving us that we are expecting a strong dollar for this week. That is, we expect the dollar to pull back a bit to the upside to, fill more of the liquidity void. So this morning, that is exactly what we'll be seeing running on the gold, the precious metal too, because if the dollar is buying, then all things being equal, we expect the precious metal to pull back a little bit to the downside. All right. Now, if you look at it on the daily time frame, we are going to observe we have some levels marked up there, which is much more clearer on the 4-hour time frame. Now, if you follow our analysis very well, we use the pause strategy very well on this market color. And if you look at it, we already have a pause strategy formed. This is the shoulder, we've seen the sweep, and we've seen the possible break also to the downside. So what we are expecting to play out on the precious metal moving forward this week is that we've seen how that price broke structure to the downside and return back to the shoulder level, and where we still expect it to come to. Last week we were expecting to trade into this slip zone. That's our first big profit. Price got there, and moving forward this week, we just expect something to pull back to the upside, which is this that you've seen, and it has happened in the course of the early hours of today rather. So we expect price to now push all the way back down to the flip zone. For the price action that we are expecting here, those who are on our FS Bootcamp will truly know and understand what exactly we are expecting and why we are expecting that price should trade into this level. All right. So now our expectation for the precious metal is we still expect it to sell all the way into this flip zone. Then you can now begin to see the buy back up. All right. So that is our outlook for this week on the precious metal. But let's now look at it on the lower time frame to see where exactly can we now come in, because we won't just hold our hands and wait until price gets to that level. All right. We want to see, okay, price already got there, then we can easily follow it to the downside. Now, from the 1-hour time frame, if you look at it very well, it's giving us much more of price action moving to the downside. However, we see that this is a very strong support that was broken to the downside here, and that's why we are seeing price reacting from that level. Now, moving forward with this particular price action, what I'm seeing on the 1-hour time frame is, if I go to my lower time frame, maybe 15 minutes, and we see our entry signature, which most of us on the FS Bootcamp really understand what it is, then we can easily start shorting the precious metal from this level. But if the entry signature did not print and price keep itching to the upside, then that means price is coming for the liquidity point that we have at this particular level here. So that is it for the precious metal on the 1-hour time frame. Now let's now go to the 15-minute time frame to see if we have any entry right now. Right now on the 15-minute time frame, we've not seen any entry for the precious metal right now. All right. So price is still very much to the downside, but until we see the entry, yes, it has cleared liquidity around this top, which was Friday high. Price cleared it earlier today during the Asian session. Yes, that is, and you can see the entry signature around that level for itself. But right now, price has not given any entry for the sell. So you just want to wait and watch. And today being Monday, there is high tendency we see the market just crawled a bit, all right, particularly this London session into the open of the New York session, all right. So that is one thing we should expect today, all right, until we see the entry signature for the sell on the precious metal. Then that is when we are going to take our sell. And where are we selling it all the way into? Remember, we are selling all the way into this level here, which is a flip zone. And if you look at it very well, you can see that it is a bust pattern. This is the shoulder, this is the split. We've seen the possible break. Price came back there and violated it. And one thing about the bust pattern is when it's violated, then it's also giving us a signal that we should take a trade moving forward. All right. So that is that for the precious metal today. Now we'll be moving to Japan to see what exactly is happening in Japan. Today being Monday, 5th of May, currently Japan is having their bank holiday today. Today is a bank holiday in Japan. However, if you look at the price action for today, if you look at it, you are going to see that price is still, pushing a little bit to the upside. And that is what we are expecting for this week on the yen basket. We expect that the yen basket should buy all the way to the upside because of this reference point that we have here. We have the daily order block, the fair value gap. So we see price traded into it just the way we analyzed it last week. Price already traded into it. And moving forward, where are we expecting price to trade into? First, we expect price to buy all the way to clear liquidity around this level. First, clear this one, clear this two, and clear this two. All right. So if you look at it from the weekly time frame, where we are still heading to on the yen basket is this weekly order block with the fair value gap here. So that is where we are still heading to. So this week, our expectation for the yen basket is that price should buy all the way to clear liquidity and tap proper into the weekly order block. So this could play out in this may be what we are going to see in the month of May. All right, in the month of May, we are expecting it to rally all the way back up here into the weekly order block, knowing fully well that for very long years, the yen basket has been tanking all the way down. And just last year, we see the retracement and price changing our market structure shift to the upside and gradually pushing back up. All right, so that is what we are expecting for the yen basket this week. We're expecting it to buy all the way to the upside. Now, if that is what we are expecting to see on the yen basket, what should we look out for on the other yen correlated pair? First, let's check GBP JPY. Last week, Friday, we actually was a sell day for the yen pair, particularly JPY. During the London session, we called the trade for the sell, which we all took together, and it was a very good one for every one of us who took the trade. Now, moving forward this week, we are expecting more of that sell of the JPY. Where are we selling it into? We are selling it all the way for price to come and take out liquidity below here. So this is where we are still expecting the JPY to sell into moving forward. And if you look at it even from the weekly time frame, you look at JPY from the weekly time frame, we are going to observe that price is bearish. Yes, after this long pull to the upside, we've seen a very clear market structure shift here, and price is in a very strong consolidation. And after that consolidation, we begin to see how price is now pushing to the downside. So moving forward for JPY, we expect price to sell. And let's look at the lower time frame to see where price is actually expected to sell into. Now, this is it here. You can see we expect price to come and take out all this diagonal liquidity that we have here. So price should take them out. And I'm still expecting it to trade into this particular level here. Now, this is the 4-hour time frame. You can take out time to refine this particular candle here on your lower time frame. You are going to see a reference there where we want price to trade into. All right. And if you look at it on the 1-hour time frame, this was the trade we took last week. So that is it. All right. So where exactly are we now expecting the GBP/JPY to tank into? We are still expecting more sales of GBP/JPY. However, if peradventure it pulls to the upside, then this should act as a flip zone where price is expected to get to and react. All right, this should act as a flip zone. Even though we already see one here, it already reacted to one here. You can see somewhere around this place, then price pushing to the downside. And you know why price is actually stalling here? Because this was once a resistance. If you trace it to the other side, it was once a resistance, and that is why price is reacting there. But the moment we see the break of this level to the downside, then we are shorting GBP JPY all the way to the low to around the 184 level, 184, 185 level. This zone, that is where we are shorting it into. Now, if you check the 15-minute time frame, currently the candle forming is showing us more of, all right, it may be an entry signature, but we are going to wait until this candle closes fully bearish, then that is going to be the first shot of our entry for this week. So when we take that as the first shot, where would our SL be? Our SL would be somewhere at the top of the Asian eye, knowing fully well that price already came to close the gap that we have at the market open here. So we expect it to continue itself all the way down. So if this candle closes bearish, then we can do it a short and knowing fully well where we are heading to for GBP JPY. All right, so let's look at the other yen correlated pair, a quick one to AUD JPY. Now for AUD JPY, remember last week on AUD JPY, it was a massive one because we expected to sell, but it keeps stalling. It couldn't push to the downside. Now, if you look at it very well, you can see the reference points that we have here. We have the daily order block, and that is where price came to tap into last week. But I'm still of the opinion that price has not really, getting into it. That is why we see it just falling. So the New York session, London session for this morning, we expect price to move proper into this order block that we have here, this daily order block. I believe we all can see that this is the daily order block here, this candle, this particular candle here. All right, so we expect price to trade fully into it, and we can keep shorting to the downside. Now, if you look at it from the 4-hour time frame, it's also a level where we want to. Now, this is it, the 4-hour time frame. Remember on Friday, we saw this order block on the 4 hours. So that is where I'm still expecting that price is most likely to get into, all right, in this 4-hour order block. So when price trade into that level, we can begin to short when we see our entry signature. All right. But right now, price is just stalling somewhere here. But remember, today being a bank holiday for the yen, the Japanese bank. So one thing we need to understand is there may be low volatility in the markets today because of the bank holiday. However, moving forward into the New York session or tomorrow morning, starting from the Asian session, we should begin to see much more volatility come into the market. But remember, this is the POI we are still expecting AUD JPY to get to. And when price gets to this particular point, we can begin to short all the way down. And you know why price is stalling here? Because of this support that was broken downside. So it ought to be a resistance, but we can still see that sharp move all the way into this 4-hour order block and begin to sell to the downside. Right now, price has not given any entry. You can see since Friday, it's been in a consolidation state, and you don't want to take any trade in a consolidation state of AUD JPY. Now, lastly, before we call it a day, Euro JPY. For Euro JPY, you are going to see as price already traded into our POI on Friday because we expected to come and take out liquidity here. And after it did that, we begin to see the short of Euro JPY. Now, where are we heading to for Euro JPY? We are also still coming all the way into this level for Euro JPY. That is what we are still expecting because its own is in a very big consolidation state since 2024, August 2024. You can see all through. So which means when price gets the premium of the consolidation, you can look for opportunity to short all the way into discount. But knowing fully well that where we are still heading to for Euro JPY is we still expect price to come and take out all this liquidity here and tap properly into this weekly order block. Just the way we see the yen basket, this is also the same thing on Euro JPY. It's just in the inverse form. All right, so that is one thing we should look out for the Euro JPY. Now on the 4-hour time frame of Euro JPY, I'm very, very much optimistic that price should trade all the way into this level. First, you can see this liquidity point that we have here. So price should trade all the way into that level. When price trades into that level, then we can begin to, you may want to upload some of your entry. That is one. That is the first POI. Then the next one is that level we want on the weekly time frame. Now, what is the now trade of GBP/JPY? If you come to the 15-minute time frame, we are going to observe that right now we've not really seen a clear entry for the Euro JPY trade, which is on the 15-minute time frame. It has not really printed the entry signature that we want to see. However, we may see price just come all the way, and now I'm seeing a bus strategy, bus pattern somewhere here. So this is the shoulder, we've seen the sweep, but before the break, we see our price create some liquidity here and broke structure to the downside, which means there is probability we see the Euro JPY come all the way to take out liquidity here. So that will be the first level. So if we see our entry signature anywhere here, we can take it. However, if price violates that and come all the way to this level, just know it's coming all the way to take out liquidity. Friday liquidity point. When price sweeps it and you see your entry signature here, which is the bearish engulfing that we want to see on the Euro JPY for the sell. All right. So when you see it here, we'll begin to short all the way to the downside. And know fully well where are we shorting it to? We're shorting it to this level here to take out liquidity around this point. All right. So that is going to be all for the market analysis for the precious metal, the yen basket, and the other yen correlated pair. If there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box. Let's quickly address it before we call it a day. All right. Oh, good morning, Potters FS. So please, just a quick one. Can we be expecting bullish move on DSY today and also bullish move on yen? Yes, we are expecting bullish move on DSY, not just today, for this week. And at the same time, for yen also. Yen for this week, we are expecting the bullish move. However, we may see the yen basket just consolidate today during the bank holiday. But for the rest of the week, we expect to see a bullish move on it. Now, if we are expecting the bullish move on DSY and also on the yen basket, then that simply is giving us an indication of a particular pair that should be ranging, which is USD JPY. There's high tendency we are going to see USD JPY just consolidate for this week, and then others will keep moving and continue to move. All right, so that is it for the DSY and also for the yen basket. Oh, good morning, Pablo. Says, how can I take these trades? Do I join any group to have this done? Yes, on the Market Colour group, we send our free, entries there. But if you want to trade just the way we trade and also join us to trade, we do that with our FS Bootcamp community. All you need to do is just reach out to us on our WhatsApp contacts. Then that is where we are going to share with you how you can enroll for our FS Bootcamp. Okay, so the training is for 1 week where we are going to teach you how to trade profitably, right from being a beginner until you too become a pro, where you see what you want to see in the market. All right. So all you need to do is just reach out to us on our WhatsApp contact. We are going to type it right now in the chat box, so you can always reach out to us. All right. Thank you very much, Pablo. Okay, if there is no further question, just a quick one. The TBC Abuja is coming up on the 31st of May, TBC 2025, and this edition also is going to be starting in the city of Abuja. All you need to do is just make sure you are in attendance, because we have a very limited slot just for 200 people. So all you need to do is register at ValueFlow Trading /TBC, all right, /TBC. So that is it. Register, go there straight and register for the Traders Bootcamp coming up on the 31st of May 2024. That's where we are going to teach you how we've been able to build a successful trading business in this chaotic economy, and you too can also replicate the same thing alongside with us. All right. So this is going to be the end of the market color brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. Till we meet again by 2 o'clock p.m. New York session. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. I'm Lekon Shiemi. Cheers and God bless.